Murder Before Myth is a podcast intentionally for information and entertainment purposes only. The views and opinions expressed by hosts are their own. This podcast explores real crime cases, historical accounts, legends, and myths. While we strive for accuracy, some information may be incomplete, disputed, or based on historical records, folklore, or interpretation. We do not claim definitive conclusions, nor do we intend to accuse, defame, or misrepresent any individual, living or deceased. Nothing discussed on this podcast should be considered legal, medical, or psychological advice. Listeners' discussion is strongly advised as episodes may contain discussion of violence, death, and other sensitive topics. Thanks for enjoying.
Yeah, bitch!
Awesome.
Sorry, I'm laughing because the back rows right after I did that.
Of course you did. Okay.
Computer issues for the first 5 minutes. If we fix that issue.
Yeah, take two. We're going to try this again.
Yeah, literally.
Hi, everybody. Whee! No, it's been a minute, but oh.
Too long.
Quentin's already heard this, but we're going to do it again. So, right now, you guys are going to get episodes when you get them. Until we figure out a pattern on when we're going to record with jobs and whatnot. It's just been a whole... It's not just mine and Quentin's jobs. We also have to take into consideration our significant others, because we both prefer to record when they're not around.
Or they prefer us not to record when they're around.
Right.
Because I'm very loud when I'm recording, like beyond loud.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to do gaming streams while being.
I can get her. I can see her point. So until then, you guys are just gonna get episodes when you get them. I know with our last recording that we sent out, I was going to do the case of the unsolved murder of Joseph Gatto. I am having a hard time just writing that episode. I don't know why it's being such an issue for me, but I'll get there at some point. Hopefully by the next episode that we come out, I'll have what I want written. Oh, there's a kitty that just jumped behind me. Okay. I'm awake, Backroads. All right. He needs to make his appearance. I'm sure Pearl will make her appearance at some point, too.
Wait, do you keep the door open upstairs?
Yeah.
What was that noise?
I have to be. Yeah, I have to. I have no idea. I didn't hear it.
It was like I
have to keep the door. If I don't keep the door upstairs open, then we get Pearl barking and we get just a whole lot of stuff that you don't like to cut out.
Yeah.
So this way, Pearl stays quiet. Backroads makes his appearance, scares the crap out of me. But I do have I'm going to say it's kind of an interestingly fascinating case for y'all today. But I do have a disclaimer that this episode does contain, I know what I'm trying to say.
Decapitation?
No, actually it does not.
For what?
It contains talk. Yeah, it does contain talks of CSAM and suicide. So if these are topics that you're not comfortable with, we completely understand if you bow out of this episode. There will be a lot more talk of CSAM than even I'm going to be comfortable with, but I'm going to try and get through it as fast as possible. But the story kind of needs to be told. Or it doesn't need to be told, but I've never heard of this guy. until I had to go looking for something 3 hours ago, because everything that I have in my archive crashed and I can't find any files back. So, without further ado, and maybe getting my stuff in order, there we go. Ryan Erickson was born in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, and grew up in Campbellsport. His parents moved when he was in his early teens, but it's unknown where they moved to. He ended up going to live with a priest, but he spent his summers at his family at a campground in Eagle River, Wisconsin. Erickson was known as a young, energetic, charismatic pistol packing. So he owned 16 guns, and he knew he was a good aim. He was ultra conservative and passionate about two issues: his opposition to abortion and to homosexuality. He was a no-go for both of these. I am going to preface that he was a no-go, but we're going to find out some very interesting information going forward. So when he'd celebrate Mass, or when he was celebrating Mass, he was, I'm going to try so hard not to laugh in this, known to disdain what he called the orgy of handshaking and hugs. I should not have looked at Clinton, because now I can't. During the consecration of the host, which is basically the blood and body. Ha ha ha, you're funny. He would dramatically hold the piece of bread that is broken, or the wafer. He'd hold it over his head for a minute, and with tears he would just roll down his cheeks. Like, it was so emotional to him.
I was in theater and I can't even do that on cue. I'm trying to do this in camera.
So, an example of his concern for this, he was concerned there was temptations at church, and this is why he would hold it up and just cry. He sent an email out, and I'll explain here in a little bit why he sent an email out. You know what? I bet I started in the wrong spot.
Yeah, like, what year is this?
No. We'll get there. Chill.
I mean, AOL is not too old.
Ha 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 ha. Well, actually, you know what? You can ha ha ha, but when you're saying it that way, it makes me kind of feel like a young parent. So he sends an email out to people. We'll get to who he sends them out to in a minute. And he expresses a thought of the day in this email to his supporters at the St. Patrick's Church. And I'll get to where the St. Patrick's Church is at here in just a minute. I found this email just offensive and hilarious at the same time.
I was gonna say, are you going to read the whole email, or are you going to? Or you just
It's just a summary. It's just a paragraph.
Oh, so that's the whole email as a paragraph?
Yeah.
No.
Even Sunday Mass is not safe from the immodest dress of some devils. They come to read, give out Holy Communion, etc. Looking like an advertisement, their immodest dress says to all present, I'm easy. Please go home and masturbate to my beautiful body. The sad thing is that some do. So, Erickson's strict conservative views led to tension with more of the liberal Catholics at the St. Patrick's Church, and with the resignation of the principal at the school, but the priest also had his share of supporters. Oh, I did not put these in the right order.
Were they showing their ankles?
Ha, you're so funny. Something's missing. I know it is.
That's my only thought about this, is they're showing their ankles. I don't know why. And it's like, but like you said, it's email, so I'm like, those 2 time periods do not match.
I totally understand that. Oh, it ended up at the bottom. I meant to move it. So, Ryan Erickson was a Roman pastor at St. Patrick's Church in Hudson, Wisconsin. And that was what I was trying to, that's what we completely skipped over on why things weren't making sense. There's more to it, I just don't know where I put it. Surprise, surprise that my notes are all over the place, huh?
No, that's not a surprise. When are you going to tell the year?
Oh, it's 2004.
Okay. Do you remember the location you just said?
Yes, I did. I said Hudson, Wisconsin. He was born in Fond du Lac. Like I told you earlier before we recorded, that our worlds were going to collide.
Yeah, the only reason I thought about that is because when I worked at AT&T, we had a priest come in that was named Patrick, and the middle digits of his phone number is 666.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Now do you see why? I was like wondering what year?
Yeah. Okay, so Erickson, why would I come up with Anderson? Oh, that's why. In September 2003, Erickson was reassigned to Our Lady of Sorrows in Ladysmith, Wisconsin, as an assistant pastor. Okay. Now that we've got that all established, we can go back to where I was at.
That's a far distance, by the way. Hudson to Ladysmith is not short. It's like an hour north of me.
Yep, we'll get there. Okay.
And trust me, I've driven to Hudson one day and Ladysmith the next day. It sucks.
And then it would later come out that there was like another side of Erickson's personality. And this is where I'm going to preface that the CSAM kind of starts coming in. When Erickson was 6 years old, he had sexual contact with a 4-year-old male cousin. When he was 19, he had sexual contact with a 14-year-old boy. When he was 21, he was investigated for allegedly assaulting a boy at the summer resort, was the one that he went to in Eagle River with his parents. According to Ralph Michael Fliss, the bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Superior at the time, the diocese was informed of allegations of inappropriate sexual behavior by Erickson in 1992. But an investigation by Catholic authorities of Erickson concluded that he does not appear to be a predator or exploit. I can't say the word. Neither can you. In his overall orientation, and he does not seem to be at a high risk for acting in a sexual aggressive or manipulative manner in the future. Erickson was allowed to enter St. Paul Seminary. He had already been admitted provisionally, and he was ordained in June of 2000 and assigned to St. Patrick's Church in Hudson, Wisconsin, about 20 miles from St. Paul, Minnesota. Okay, now that we've got that all taken care of.
By the way, St. Paul is actually very close to Hudson. Like, I don't think people understand how close it is. It is seriously, you drive over a bridge and drive through a little town, and then you're in St. Paul. You know that.
See, I didn't even realize it was that close.
That's when we drove to Mall of America, that is how close that is. Mall of America is in St. Paul. That is how close it was.
Wow.
Remember us crossing that bridge? That was Woodbury, and then it was St. Paul.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's that close. Like, I don't think anybody realizes that 20 miles is a lot closer than people realize. It's like a straight shot.
Oh, wow.
It sucks. Would I ever want to drive it? Like, if I don't have to drive it, I won't drive it.
Gotcha.
And you know that. And you know why.
Yeah. So, we're going to move on from Erickson. We're going to talk about Dan O'Connell for a second. Dan O'Connell is a 39-year-old that was a member of one of Hudson's most prominent families and the manager of O'Connell Funeral Home. He is married with 2 elementary-aged children. He was active in his community, and he was just a happy-go-lucky guy. He was sociable. He volunteered as an ambulance attendant and in local festivals and parades. Much of what happened in Hudson, hi Maggie, there wasn't anything in Hudson that he didn't hear about. On February 5th, 2002, the Daniel O'Connell, did I say O'Connell? Yeah. The funeral home director and his intern, who in mortuary science, James Ellison, were found shot to death in O'Connell's funeral home.
At least they were close to the building.
A county medical examiner discovered the bodies in the early afternoon while he was visiting the funeral home to get a death certificate. The scene of the crime that he found clearly suggested that O'Connell had been the target. He was shot to death where he was sitting behind his desk, and Ellison had risen from his chair and was bolting for the door when he was shot in the back. Investigators theorized that an argument between O'Connell and the perpetrator had erupted into sudden violence, and then Ellison was murdered because he was a witness. And that was according to Leon Podles. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I have a doggy next to me.
I have a kitty that's looking up at me like, you better pet me.
So it's alleged that between 1:08 and 1:22 p.m. on February 5th, 2002, Erickson had entered the funeral home. O'Connell was at his desk, and Erickson shot him at point-blank range once in the head with a 9mm semi-automatic pistol, killing him instantly. When Erickson went to leave the office, Ellison had come into the room, saw O'Connell's body, and was walking towards it. Erickson returned and fired again, but he missed. Then Erickson shot again at Ellison and got him through the skull at point blank range. Ellison ended up dying, that's not what I want to do. Died instantly and collapsed over the chair with the bullet casing underneath him. Apparently, headshots they're effective, but they're difficult because, like, obviously the head is small, but it's constantly moving too, especially if you're trying to. That's kind of weird. I'm doing that, and I got my hated vest on now, like. And it takes a practiced shooter that's familiar with this weapon to kill that efficiently, like with. So, despite a reward of $100,000, the police interviewed over 1,800 people, and that was including Ryan Erickson. For almost 2 years, it remained unsolved. And during this time, Erickson was reassigned to Our Lady's Sorrows in Ladysmith, Wisconsin, as the head pastor of the church. Reverend John Anderson, he complained to his bishop that Erickson drank. When Anderson confronted it and reprimanded Erickson for spending the weekend partying on Beer Can Island, Beer Can Island, that's actually a teenage hangout, Erickson replied that he had not been a priest that weekend. On August 10th, 2004, Erickson transferred to St. Mary's of the $7 Church in Hurley, Wisconsin, which is 200 miles northeast of Hudson. Why have I always thought Hurley was closer to Hudson than that?
It's not. I think what you're thinking is Holton, which is right above it.
Okay.
Wait.
So Erickson,
wait. Where the heck is Beer Can Island?
You know what? I think it's probably just something that the kids call it.
Because there is an actual place called Beer Can Island, also known as Pine Keys, in Tampa Bay, Florida.
Oh, I don't know. It's probably just one of those little parks that's got a little place that the teenagers go to drink.
Or it's a sandbar on the St.
Yeah, something like that.
So the river that goes through there is called the St. Croix River.
Yeah. So Erickson, he did not become a suspect and was not interviewed again by the police until November 2004, when Detective Jeffrey Knops and Sean Petty traveled from Hudson to Hurley to interview Erickson about the sexual assault they had heard about from a male student from North Dakota and former associate of Erickson's that Knops had interviewed. The detectives asked Erickson how Daniel O'Connell and James Ellison were killed. Erickson replied, "I think James was going through a door and out a door, was behind his desk. I think that's what that's what I had to. I mean, if I had to say what took place, I would say James was at the door and Dan was at the desk. While Erickson claimed he knew this information from the news, those details were not publicly disclosed. And those basically, so either it was used for two different reasons. One, so they could test false confessions, and then to determine who knows things that would only the perpetrator would know. After the police interviewed Erickson, Russell Lundgren, a deacon at St. Mary's, was told by a priest, "I done it, and they were going to catch me." He was staring out the window throughout the whole conversation. Erickson had never made any contact. Because Erickson had revealed information to the detectives about the crime that were never made public, they interviewed him again the next month during his December 7th interview. They confronted him with discrepancies about the murders, and then 2 days later, investigators executed a search warrant on his living quarters looking for evidence that would connect him to the murders. Investigators discovered a deeply hidden folder containing more than 40 images of prepubescent CSAM material and gay male pornography on Erickson's computer. This is just kind of sickening on what he had it located under. It was located underneath my pictures /folder /holy mass /prayers /mass prayers /new folder. The folder had been created on August 26, 2004, and was last assessed December 12th, 2004.
Before you say, before you keep talking, what assess means there was something added to the folder, is what that means.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
According to other testimony by Lundgren at a October post-judicial inquiry hearing, Erickson was worried about prison, saying, "Do you know what they do to young guys in prison, especially priests?" I'm sorry, dude, but you can use the priest thing all you want, but no, it's what you were doing to kids is what's going to get your ass beat in prison. I said what I said, and I'm going to stick to it.
I'm not arguing. Let's have the Pokemon go after him.
Lundgren had told other church staff about this remark, but he didn't tell the police right away. He does eventually tell them, but we'll tell you when he does this. On December 19th, Erickson hanged himself in the hallway of St. Mary's. His body was discovered by the church janitor and Richard Reams, a parishioner. A John Doe proceeding was held. Now, I don't know, have you ever heard of a John Doe hearing?
No, I've not.
So Wisconsin is the only state to have this. A John Doe hearing is basically when you either have the suspect has passed away, or if you have somebody that's already incarcerated where there's enough evidence to convict without a conviction. It's called a John Doe hearing.
I will here. If any of you guys are in the Discord, I will put the whole statute in the Discord.
Thank you.
Wait.
It was held at. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, you better tell me when this thing happened now. When did this hearing get taking place?
I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay.
The John Doe proceeding was held at the request of the family of John O'Connell on October 3rd, 2005 in the St. Croix District. Attorney Eric Johnson presented the evidence to St. Croix County Judge Eric Lundell on the murders. 15 witnesses testified and other evidence was presented. As the defendant was deceased, the hearing took place without a jury. Judge Lundell stated, I find that and conclude that Brian Erickson probably committed these crimes in question on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as strength of evidence, I would consider this a 10. It is a very strong case for circumstantial evidence. Erickson's attorney and parents refused to attend the hearing and deny his guilt. DA Eric Johnson explained that even though the evidence was not cross-examined and was not heard by a jury, the judge's ruling can be construed as a finding of guilt. So during the post-suicide hearing, a teenage boy from the nearby Somerset, Wisconsin, spoke of being molested by Erickson. From 2000 to 2002, the victim testified he spent many weekends at the rectory with Erickson, watching horror movies and playing drinking games. He estimated that Erickson had supplied him with more than 1,200 cans of beer and the same amount of hard liquor or liquor shots. The teenager could remember about 10 sexual incidences with Erickson, but he was frequently so drunk while spending time with Erickson that he couldn't remember what exactly happened when he woke up. And again, they found all this stuff in that file. In the aftermath, they found a note from Erickson that was left to family and friends or to anyone. He wrote, "My ego, my pride, my lust, my envy have always stopped me from being the best person I could be. I am tired." I'm gonna skip over that because we've gone through that like multiple times. So in the whole time with O'Connell, nobody reached out to the O'Connell family with Dan O'Connell's widow. Nobody reached out to her or whatnot with condolences or apologies. And it is reportedly the only member of the clergy to call the widow in the 3.5 years after the murder? Can you guess, Quentin?
The janitor.
Ryan Erickson, the murderer.
Oh, wow.
The end. I told you I had a tailspin for you.
Yeah, you did. This is actually, before we go into my story, which involves a lake, we actually have a very big thing to tell you guys. I have been kind of drinking it right in there. She just took a sip out of hers. The flag behind me is actually a big deal. It's actually, so we have a sponsor with Dubby. It will be down in the description. The flavor that you are using is called what again?
I have the blue raz, and it's actually really, really good. It's like, it says sweet and sour, and I actually, when I have taken it, like a lot of energy drinks will make me jittery, and this one actually doesn't, and it's called Jitterless Energy Blend.
Yeah, like these
it
are... It
gives you just enough of a wake up.
Yeah, so I have two, like I have two. Like, this one's actually empty. This is normally back there. I grabbed it because we were going to show this off. I've actually had the one that she's had, and it is really good. And
yeah, he actually had it when he was here for Thanksgiving, because I was actually like, I don't know why my flavor doesn't taste like a flavor, and he experimented. He goes, oh, this is why, because he's like, you drink enough caffeine already, you don't need to start with a half a scoop. Do
yeah,
a whole
so
scoop.
The thing says when you're new, use a half a scoop, but that's if you're not a caffeine user already, is the downside to this. Like, it tells you to use half a, like, yeah, for new users of those, and those sensitive simulations should start with half a scoop, which makes sense if you're new to caffeine, because this has a lot of caffeine in it. Like, it's 200 milligrams per scoop. The ones that I have are the Japanese Yuzu, which is like a lemonade, but not as sour as lemonade, so it's actually really good. And this other one is called Grandpa's Denture Water. It is a It is a mango papaya. It's a mango papaya, and unlike most energy drinks that have that is filled with like chemicals and all that stuff, this is used with coffee fruit extract instead of normal, like, all those chemicals added. So like you can easily just read, like, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients in this. The code is MB4.
The code is. Let me do the code.
I have a different code for my thing.
Yeah. The code is MB, the letter B, the number 4M. Like, it's all the first letters. M for myth, before the B and a number 4, and then an M for myth. So MB4M. Oh, so my God, that was a lot to say.
So it's murder before murder. No, it's myth before myth. You said myth for the first one. It's meant for be murder before wow.
Yes.
Murder before murder. Wow, I can't.
Okay, you know what? It is actually really late for us to be recording. We never record this late at night, ever. I don't think we've ever recorded this late at night.
Like, I've done live streams this late, but that's because I'm gaming.
Yeah, but I don't think you and I have ever recorded this late at night.
No. And by the way, yes, that's what that flag is behind me, is a Dubby flag.
And not only that, but you can get like really cool.
Yeah, like I have a black one. Like, these are actually really cool. Like, the one that she has doesn't have like a little, so mine has a little net in hers. Hers does not have one in it, which it's not actually anything wrong with it. It's actually designed not to have one. The nice part is there's not that shaking ball thing that I actually hate with some of these, because those balls are really loud when you have an empty bottle. I mean, I would grab the one I have from Walmart to show you, but it is really loud. Like, you're finished drinking, and you, like, when I'm at a school, if I set it down, it is the loudest thing on the planet.
Oh, I'm going to let you keep talking about Dubby for a second if you want to, but our little not so little mascot needs to go potty, so I got to go let her outside.
All right. I'll actually be right back to show you guys what I'm talking about with the net thing. So I'll actually be, like, back in, like, 2 seconds.
I'll just hang out here until he gets back, and then I'll let Pearl out. He's such a dork. He's going to love this when he gets back.
I have wireless headphones. You know that, right?
I know.
So you
heard me call you a dork.
Yes. So here's what that net thing I was talking about in mine. I took mine out for today just because I just didn't want it in there. So instead of this ball thing in here, which if you actually listen, I don't. Yeah. She won't hear it over Discord, but on my end, you can actually hear this. It is loud. That's the one down thing with these ones is because of this ball. It's a little bit smaller. This is 24 ounces. This is 16 ounces is the downside. But it's a wonderful water bottle. Like, I actually will use this, like, on a daily basis. And this one is just too loud. And they have way more flavors, too. Like, there is actually caffeine-free flavors called the Hydro Packs, which are actually really good. I got the sample size. They are delicious. They're like lemonade ones and all that stuff. Actually, give me like 2 seconds to remember all the flavors they have. I'm just pulling it. So yeah, it's just w.gg, and then when you go to the checkout, you use MB4M to check out. And they have some really good stuff. So there is. Give me a second. Sorry. There is like the sampler starter that you can use, or the hydro samplers, which are caffeine free. There is Tiger Blood. They also do one that they can actually surprise you with. So if you don't know what to get, you can do a thing called the Chef's Choice, and they actually surprise you with something. So they have some caffeine free ones. I'm guessing.
I don't know where the dog went.
Oh, I'm guessing. Did you know there was caffeine free W's?
Yes, I did.
And they do, actually, this is new. They actually started a franchise with, oh my God, what is that anime called? I know this anime, I actually really do like it. It is, oh my God.
He likes it so much he doesn't know what its name is.
Yeah, I actually forgot the name of it. It's actually a really popular anime. That's the funny part. It is actually like really popular. Apparently, every time I open it, oh my! It is called.
Something my husband watches.
No. It is. Oh my God! What is the name of that thing? Popular. It is called. This was a very popular anime not that long ago. That's why I'm like really annoyed I can't find it. It is Fair and Beyond Journey End is what they partnered with, and also Chainsaw Man is another two. Those are the two animes they have, and one I don't know. Those are the two I do know they did, and then you can get all the W ones. So I have a sludge green slime shaker. You have a white Aurora shaker, if I remember right?
Yeah.
Yep. And then they do have like ones that don't have like these drips on it, like just a normal W one that is like the custom red, blue, and green shakers, which are clear. And then they also do have like the flag that's behind me, and also they do have solo leveling cups too if you're into the solo leveling. They also have a mouse pad. Okay, the mouse pad is new.
So for discount, use our discount code. It's MB4M, and it'll be in the description down below.
That is a
So
10%.
you have a link. Yeah, it's 10%. So I hear you have a link to tell me about.
Yes, it's the myth of the silent witness.
The what?
The myth of the silent witness.
Never heard of this.
Before, I did not mean to clap. I'm guessing Discord did not catch that, but my recording software definitely did. Before names were given to places, before borders mattered, where there were a village. There was a village.
Illegitimate children.
There was a village that doesn't exist on any map anymore. It was built beside a lake, so still that even the wind seemed to avoid it. The village called the lake clearless because it reflected the sky perfectly, day or night.
So was this lake happen to be in the same town that doesn't exist in Wisconsin?
I mean, Lake Superior never gives up its dead. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, they know exactly what I'm talking about. The myth says the lake was never always silent. Long ago, the clearest spoke, not in words, but in memories. When someone stood at its edge, the water showed them moments they had forgotten. A childhood laugh, a promise never kept, a face they tried to not to remember. The village believed the lake was alive, not a god, not a demon, but a witness. It watched everything, remembered what people chose to forget. For generations, the village lived by one rule. Never disturb the lake after sunset. No fishing, no swimming, no reflection. At night, the lake remembers too much. Despite the warning, the village thrived. People lived honest lives, not because they were good, but because they feared being seen. Crimes were rare. Lies were whispered carefully. The lake, they believed, was always watching.
Okay, I have goose pimples.
You got chicken skin. That's what it is. It's chicken skin.
I am not that old yet that I have chicken skin.
No, some people actually call Goosebumps chicken skin.
Oh, I also heard them called goose cam too. Especially if you're like on camera like we are, goose cam. Yeah.
Honk honk. I don't have like out of all my sound sports, I do not have a goose for some odd reason.
Wow.
I have a lot of soundboards, but I don't have a goose. Then one winter, a stranger arrived. No one saw him enter the village. He simply was there one morning, standing at the water's edge. He wore no coat despite the coat, and his reflection did not move when he did. The villagers avoided him, except for one woman. Her name was Early. Early had lived her entire life beside the lake and hated it. She had lost her brother years ago, vanished near the shore. The village said the lake had taken him, but the lake had never shown her his face. Not once, only silence. She approached the stranger and asked him what he was looking for. He answered without turning, "I'm listening."
Bigfoot talks.
She laughed bitterly and told him the lake did not speak. The stranger smiled. That's because it has to learn not to. That night, the villagers heard screaming, not from the lake, but from the homes. People woke to memories clawing their ways into their mind. Secrets they had buried rose uninvited. Affairs, murders disguised as accidents. Children taking advantages of brothers' betrayal. The lake was no longer showing memories. It was returning them.
I don't like this story.
By the morning, 3 villagers were dead, one by his own hand, one drowned in the shallow water, one frozen on the shore, eyes open, staring at his own reflection. The elders demand answers. They drag Ira to the lake, accusing her of angering it. They ordered her to speak to the stranger again, to make it stop. She found him standing where he had been before, unmoving. What did you do? She asked. I reminded the lake of its purpose, he said. The elders arrived, shouting, threatening him. They demanded he to leave. When he did not respond, one of them struck him. The water rippled. For the first time in centuries, the lake made a sound. A low, deep vibration like breathing. The stranger finally turned. You fear the lake because it remembers, he said, but you taught it something worse.
What did it teach him? What did it teach the lake? I need to know what it taught the lake.
The elders demanded to know who he was. His reflection finally moved, stepped out of sync with his body. I'm what remains when truth is gone. That night, the lake rose, not flooding, but reaching. Reflections pulled themselves from the surface, shape made of memory and regret. Villagers were confronted by versions of themselves they refused to acknowledge. Some begged, some ran, some tried to destroy the lake. Those who touched the water vanished instantly. No splash, no scream. By dawn, the village was empty. Ira alone remained. She stood at the shore as a stranger approached her. Why am I spared? She asked. Because you never lied to the lake, he replied. You only hated it. He stepped into the water and disappeared. The lake stilled once more. Years later, travelers would pass through this area, finding no village, only a calm, glassy lake. At night, they claimed the water showed them faces staring back, not accusing, not angry, just watching. The final warning of the myth is carving in a stone near a shore. Though no one remembers the carver, its truth does not disappear when ignored. It waits, and when it returns, it doesn't come alone.
Yeah. This is the first you've got me completely speechless.
Did I scare you? Are you scared to go by...
A little bit.
Are you scared to go by Rainbow Lake now?
Where's...
Rainbow Lake.
Rainbow Lake.
That's what that lake is called next to your house. Did you not know that? South Park's lake is actually called Rainbow Lake.
Shadow Lake?
It's called Rainbow.
Oh.
Did you not know?
That one is called Rainbow.
Yep.
No, I did not.
Are you not scared to go by the water?
But actually, honestly, Shadow is closer to me than Rainbow is.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Lakes will always be waiting. Did the heated vest help?
A little bit. But it's cold. It's really cold down here, so.
I'm guessing my chills did not help.
No, they didn't. So where was this?
I never actually got a location. That's the scary part. I don't know what lake.
That is very creepy. So if you don't know a lake, you don't even know a country or anything like that, do you?
No.
Oh, wow. That is... Ooh.
It just makes you just worried about, like, any lakes that are just standstills. Like, I was making a joke of Lake Superior, which now I'm thinking about it. Lake Superior is way more creepy than even this, just in knowledge of the lake. Like, I don't think many people know how deep Lake Superior is.
Honestly, when it comes to the Great Lakes, there's a lot of creepy stuff through those. I think, honestly, the one that's got the least creepy of the Great Lakes is probably Lake Erie.
Which is beyond funny, I think. But no.
Yeah, I'm just saying...
The thing that I don't think most people realize is you can put England, like the country England, like straight down into Lake Superior, and it would be covered in water. That is how deep. That is how deep Lake Superior is. It's like one of the deepest freshwater lakes on the planet.
Yeah. Oh, and then you've got the Michigan Triangle.
Yep, which I will actually do a little bit of... Have we done that one?
I don't know. I don't think we've done that. And here's the thing is, I don't think you realize that I lived in the Michigan Triangle for a little bit. For about 5 years. And, like, where we'd go shopping, we were literally in the Michigan Triangle.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't know that until we started doing this podcast.
So yeah, we'll probably that might be my next one. It might be the lake, because apparently I'm just doing something. I'm doing stuff with lakes apparently because a lot of my things has ended up in lakes, haven't it? Like
yeah,
like I don't even know why.
See, that's the weird thing is you do this and then all of a sudden you've got that one thing that shows up more than everything. Like mine happens to unfortunately be decapitations
and children,
and yours is
decapitation and children, which even I know that one is like, it is really, like, it is beyond, like, we might be laughing right now, but it is like, why? Like, that should not be common at all.
No, it shouldn't be. It should not be common at all.
And also,
it should never be.
Also, the other thing that should not be common is people walking their dogs finding bodies.
Don't walk your damn dog in the woods and you won't find bodies.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's unfortunately though, it's if I were to be walking Pearl like in a wooded area, there is, and you know who I'm talking about. But if she were to find a body in the area, I would really hope it'd be the one missing boy that's been missing for the last couple of years, or probably the last 5 years or so.
Yeah, then at least
so
the closer has a closer.
So the family could at least get closure. Yeah. Because I know a few people of that family. I mean, unlike the Wyawega farmhouse murders that did not get closure, they just got really pissed off because even that pissed me off.
Yeah, I can remember. Yeah, you were about. Yeah, I remember that. About that.
Yeah, and I don't know. That might have been one of our lost episodes.
Yeah, I have to like go through everything. That is one thing I think got cut out at the original part. This will be going in my computer, and this will be. Ow, that hurt. Actually, that really hurt. I just whacked stuff with a hard drive. This will be for backups of these, so we don't have this issue anymore. That's actually what this is for. This is half a terabyte of storage for this stuff. So it's an archive.
Nice.
But
I guess until next time, you guys stay safe,
and curious.
All right, love you guys. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.